Well, hello everyone, welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Story Mode. Both twins have been found and collected. Very good to see the two of them again, both safe and sound and not too much the worse for wear, considering. If only every town could share the Crystarium's spirit of independence. Still, I suppose one cannot decide for others what they should and should not deem important. My powers of persuasion have certainly had little effect on the people of Calusia. Whenever I come to the Crystarium, the sands of Amareng seem a world away, and yet they both lie under this same wretched sky. That they do. We'll work on it somehow. Do you have ideas for the sky thing? The Crystal Exarch welcomes you back to the Crystarium. Yes, hello.
And so you return. Have you gained a better understanding of the crisis now faced by the First?
Better is not the word I would use. Some lands may have been spared the flood, but the survivors live only to suffer. There seems no end to the horrors inflicted by the Sin Eaters.
Indeed. Those abominations are a calamity in their own right. And I can well imagine how hopeless the task of eradicating them must seem to you. But after countless battles and untold sacrifice, we have identified a potential weakness. Sin Eaters are drawn to serve the strongest of their kind, a class of creature we call Lightwardens. And from what we have been able to ascertain, only a handful of these entities exist. Just as an ant colony will perish in the absence of its queen, we believe that the death of a Lightwarden will cause the lesser creatures within its sphere of influence to disperse.
I have a feeling Yulmul might have something to say about any concerted action we take against these monsters. Vorthra's command over the Sin Eaters is integral to Yulmoran society. In seeming to guarantee his people's safety, it guarantees their obedience. He will not take kindly to us depriving him of such useful allies.
Agreed. Thus we will need to occupy or otherwise divert his forces whilst we proceed with the business of eliminating the Wardens. Until we have done so, all other considerations must be set aside if we are to forestall the 8th Umbral Calamity.
Are you sure that eliminating the Wardens will be enough? Or I'm not sure I follow. I am loosely following, but is eliminating Wardens all it will take?
Your uncertainty is understandable, given the circumstances. Perhaps a more detailed explanation is in order. To begin at the beginning, then.
Oh yes, please.
In the ancient past, a single star was divided into 14 worlds. This is the source, your home. These others are the 13 shards, in whose number we find the first. Though physically separate, they retain a connection to each other, and with the source especially. Now, let us assume that a given element in one of the shards attains abnormal ascendancy. Just as water will flow from the highest point to the lowest, the excess energy will begin trickling into the source. And such an influx of ether will of course exert a palpable influence. If the element in question were fire, then drought and wildfires might ensue. If it were ice, one might expect the weather to turn bitterly cold. As ether continues to pour in, such phenomena will become more and more extreme, until eventually, a single, untimely event triggers a disaster which cracks the barrier dividing the two worlds. What was once a trickle now becomes a deluge, sweeping the shard along to be rejoined with the source. At the same time, the element which held sway in the shard is unleashed in full, its energies amplifying the original disaster to truly catastrophic proportions. An earthquake thus magnified might strike with enough force to shatter continents. A tidal wave might swell to a size capable of drowning entire nations. These devastating events are what we refer to as umbral calamities. 7 times has a calamity befallen the source. 7 times has a shard been absorbed. At present, the light-drowned realm of the First stands perilously close to meeting the conditions for a rejoining. It is the Sin Eaters who are to blame for the Light's continued dominance. In addition to attracting their lesser kin, the Lightwardens I mentioned earlier radiate ether, saturating every corner of their territory with light. Even here in the flood-spared region of Northrend, their influence is strong enough to banish night from the sky. Thus, if we are to restore balance to the First and head off a potential calamity, it is imperative that we put each and every Lightwarden to the sword.
We've been doing our best to take the fight to the enemy ever since we first heard the Exarch's explanation.
Though we have yet to claim any meaningful victories if truth be told. Apart from being confoundingly elusive, the Lightwardens possess a troublesome quality which compelled us to delay our plans until such time as you arrived.
Forgive the interruption, my lord, but Holminster Switch is requesting reinforcements. They say the Sin Eaters are attacking in force, and the village could soon be overrun.
Alert the guard. We should be prepared in case the fighting reaches the Crystarium. You have command of our forces in the field, Captain, but hold off on entering the town until I arrive. That goes for Alphino and Alize as well.
My lord.
Pray, lend us your strength. Such a fight will provide you with far greater insight than any explanation I could offer.
Oh, you got it. And thank you for the extremely good presentation. I'm used to Scion PowerPoints, which are already pretty high production, but that was on another level. Holminster Switch is in the north of Lakeland, so we had best make haste with our preparations. In fact, meet me outside the Crystarium at the crossroads northwest of the Exensor Gate, and I shall lead you there myself. It's a plan. I really like how, one of the best things about Shadowbringers is it's the point where the larger story of Final Fantasy XIV starts zooming out a bit, and you start getting a sense of the bigger picture. What all these calamities and astral and umbral eras and all that stuff actually mean and have been. It's a story that makes all of the previous stories even better, kind of retroactively. Provides some great context. Guess we better scoot. Lena? Guess everyone's outside already. I know things are urgent, but darn, what a pretty location. Tried to take off and fly. Forgot I couldn't take off and fly. Alas. Gang, wait for me! Exarch! Hello. All set? If we follow this road north, we will arrive at the northern staging point. The village itself lies not far beyond. Quickly now. Right behind you. Really, I feel like I should be getting there before you, what with my bird legs. It's so pretty out here. I love this lavender forest. What a great first impression for the first. A first impression. It's such a perfect way to make this place feel otherworldly and alien and strange. In what is already a fantasy setting. This place makes a pretty shocking first impression. All right, gang, I made it. Your assistance is appreciated. You're here. We are heading in together, yes? Absolutely, yes. The Exarch asked that we wait, and so we waited. I got here as fast as I can. Cut me some slack. I can't fly. I don't have my flying license here yet. Holminster Switch is past these gates and through the woods. 'Tis not exactly a near neighbor to the Crystarium, but as we occupy the same region, we have built up something of a cooperative relationship. What can we expect inside, Captain? The town is beset by a swarm unlike any we've seen in recent years. We did our best to evacuate the villagers, but as many as half remain. Judging by the number of eaters present, we have good reason to believe that a Lightwarden leads the attack. How convenient. It seems we'll have our chance to slay a warden sooner than we expected. One does not simply slay a warden. Has no one told you what happens if you defeat one of those fiends? They hold more light inside them than all of their underlings put together. It can be struck down, aye, but its essence won't dissipate like the weaker kind. Vile ether will billow outwards and envelop the nearest living being, a reckless young swordswoman, perhaps, and turn her into a brand new warden. That complicates matters. Ah, well, you can leave that particular quandary to us. I must ask that the guard stand down and allow us to engage this leader of eaters alone. Concentrate on the survivors. We must save every life we can. But what if... Understood, my lord. As captain of the guard, however, I'll not watch you brave such danger without an escort from our ranks. I insist that I go with you. Very well. Then our warden slaying party shall include myself, the Levieurs, Captain Lena, and last but not least... Thanks for including me. A formidable group indeed. Into Holminster we go. Once we reach the Lightwarden, do not hold back. We strike to kill. It is time for our first Shadowbringers dungeon. The instanced dungeons encountered in subsequent main scenario quests can be completed solo alongside a supporting party of NPCs. Yes, this was the first expansion to introduce that trust duty system where you can go in with NPC characters. We've been enjoying some of that through Stormblood a little bit, since they've been kind of retroactively adding that to old dungeons, or story ones anyway, in patches, but this is where it officially started. So this was the first one of those solo dungeon experiences you might have encountered. To make use of this feature, simply speak with one of your NPC companions near the entrance to the instance and select the option to form a party. Alternatively, you can also select duty support under it doesn't matter. When forming a party, you'll need to follow the same role restrictions imposed when using the duty finder. Alternatively, you can find party members via the blah 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 blah. Okay. You get it. So then, as I'm going to be our tank for dungeons here, who will be accompanying me? Looks like we might have some choice. They do actually let you choose at this point now. Or they give you a little range of choice at least. So, Alphino is a healer, as you can see by the green. These two are damage dealers, and the Exarch is an all-rounder, meaning that depending on what job you play, the Exarch could play any of the others. So if you were a healer, you might not be able to bring Alphino in because you can't have two healers, but the Exarch could play your tank. I guess that's really about the only thing that the Exarch would end up doing. And I think Lena would probably prefer the Exarch wasn't actually present in there, so this works out pretty well, I think. Solid group we've got going. Hang on, let me pull up a dungeon description. It feels wrong doing it any other way. Holminster Switch, an idyllic settlement in the northern reaches of Lakeland, a tranquil village where folks spend their days raising livestock and tending crops, a ripe target for a Lightwarden and its swarm of voracious sin-eaters. Reports of bloody carnage have reached the Crystarium, and the Guard has deployed in force to answer to Holminster's plea for aid. The Crystal Exarch has need of your strength, for this is no skirmish with a stray abomination. To triumph against a warden would be to strike a telling blow in the unending war for the first survival. Yes, indeed. Very excited. Let's do our first dungeon, everybody. Here we go. Here with our crew. Oop. Looks like my little portrait broke. It's not posed correctly. It's a pretty finicky system, all told. Anyway, let's see. Let's get the text pulled up here, because folks will be talking, which is why we bring them in and don't do it with a bunch of fellow players who would be able to, like, churn through this sort of dungeon way faster. But this is a story run, isn't it? Oh gods, that Sin Eater. It can't be. They're even turning the bears? Yes, they are. Bear turned into forgiven conceit. Time to remember how to tank. Face this way, please. Keep focusing on me. Why am I not tanking? Dermot, be tanking. Hit the wrong hotkey, I guess. Lovely location despite everything. There we go. Yeah, more of them. All right, come here. Focus on the tiny tank. There we go. More bears. And also something else. You know what? Let's go ahead and get the whole gang in here. Bring it! Tiny tank is ready. It's been so long since Derman was Tiny Tank. There we go. Dungeons definitely take a bit to run through with the NPC trust, especially if you're playing the tank, who's not one of the damage dealers, so you can't even really accelerate how quickly you burn through enemies, but we'll manage. And we're also pretty hard to kill this way, which is a nice plus. And down you go. All right, first boss. You. This is the monster we saw in Amareng. Easy now, Alisei. We face it together. Yeah, we do. Let's hear that boss music. Oh.
Leave the healing to me.
Keep focusing on me, if you please. Okay, we got some orbs here. This boss is pretty self-explanatory. Lots of danger puddles to not be in. Yep. Do gotta position somewhat carefully, though. Come on. Better use some protective measures. That signal means a tank buster is incoming, which is to say a move that's going to do an extreme amount of damage. Enough so that even tanks will take a real bruising if they're not prepared. All right, position. Alisei, I don't know if that's the best position. There you go. Come on, stand in the bubble of damage.
Let's give them a show!
Almost got you. Yeah. Now over here, because there's a follow-up. Stop being out of reach. There we go. Is everyone all right? We're fine. Let's keep moving. Let's do. Hurry, everyone. Someone, help! Survivors. We must buy them time to flee. Oh boy. Come here. Futile. All you do is in vain. Don't talk to me in a dungeon, enemy. Steal your hearts. There may be others we can save. Aye, we draw the Eaters to us. Me specifically, enemies. Please don't misunderstand. Despite what the boy says, I am the tank here. Pay attention to me. Hello. You'd be kind of cute if you weren't all light bleached and evil. Hey, gremlins. What did I just say earlier? About who is the tank around here? That's more like it. There we go. I think it's boss time again. A familiar one. Another eater. So this is where you went. Here's boss fight number 2. Okay, so you see we've got different numbered markers over our heads. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the order that she's going to charge and attack us. So we kind of want to spread out in a way where each of us will be guaranteed to get hit, but we don't want her to just charge through us more than one time. Because if you happen to be standing in her path when she darts between everyone in the party, she'll just keep on hitting you and you'll keep taking damage. Those little spots, I think, will slow us or increase the damage we take. One of the two. Oop, okay, we got the numbers over our head again. I'm going to try standing here. Alphino took more than one hit, but that's fine. Survivable is what that is. I'm not doing incredible dark knighting right now, but I'm getting the job done. Which is all that really matters at the end of the day. And hey, plus side to playing with NPC companions, 0 judgment. Which is then somewhat offset, I suppose, by then uploading the video on the internet for an audience of many, but what are you gonna do? Alice, you've gone pale. I'm fine. We should keep moving. Yes, Alphino, I think it'll help her most if we stay focused. No, please, get away! That happened quick. We were too slow to save them. We free their souls. That's all we can do. I agree, but wait for the tank, please. I guess plus side to the slower pace of dungeon progression. More time to listen to good dungeon music. There we go. Keep running. The manor house is just up ahead, as is the source of this suffocating ether. Why is this happening? Yes, we are about up to the last boss of the dungeon now. Lightwarden Philia. And this dungeon boss music is very good. Gods, this must be the Warden. Any other thoughts, anyone, before we start? No? Great. Get it! Face over here, please. What a cool design. Oop. Defend from that. Okay. If you recognize this marker, this is a stay away from everyone else marker, because the closer anyone else stands to you when you take that hit, the more damage they will take. Now it has used a move called Chain Down, which has trapped Lena here. So if we destroy the chain, Lena will be free and we can all run to safety. Otherwise, Lena will be stuck and just have to take the brunt of that big hit, which would not be good. It is a very bad hit. Oop. That's one of those animations where you need to watch the actual boss. You see that fist go up in the air, get on the other side. Because that danger puddle does not give you a lot of time to react if you see it too late. Nope. Defense, defense. B-tank. Okay, spread these out, don't overlap them. Or at least don't be standing in somebody else's circle. Oop. Line up, share damage. It is also very nice having a party full of NPCs who know exactly what to do with all the mechanics. So even if you're going into a fight for the first time, you can kind of just try to do as they do. Which at least helps a little bit to compensate for the fact that if you get defeated, no one can raise you and you just have to start the fight again. Alright. Boss is going to be rotating around, so we need to stay in this safe spot. Not being in the path where the tail is, but then not moving too close to this cascading kind of earth attack either. Honestly, I'm moving a little too far ahead. Still safe, though. We're doing all right.
There'll be nothing left of you but a smoking critter.
Yes, use that limit break, Alice. There is a lot of fun characterization, some subtle little touches in the AI for your party members and how they react, or how they behave in combat. Like, I think Alphino will generally prioritize Alice's safety if various folks need healing. And Alice, the instant your limit gauge fills, will not wait for someone else to get the chance to use it. She will use it immediately. Almost done. There we go. Good job, team. Success. Any thoughts? A Lightwarden gone. I can scarce believe it. Alice, how goes? Rest well. Alice. It was no less than what I expected, but well done. Thank you. We did do pretty good, didn't we? Kind of used to these things disappearing. I'll just grab this behind you and, oh. We win! Here, let me, hang on. As long as they're giving me the chance to get this stuff off screen. Excellent. Now we go.
It's releasing its ether! Fall back! We cannot let it touch us! Quickly, my lord, we must withdraw!
That will not be necessary, Captain. Though I appreciate your concern. The eternal light of these creatures has confounded us for nigh on 100 years. For each we have put down, Another has risen up in its place, born of the self-same ether relinquished by its predecessor. But now we have a way to contain that corruption. The blessing of light, and the hero who wields it now stands before you.
All right, I do have that.
Behold, the monster's power is broken, and the world, twisted by its touch, returns to its rightful form.
You get so used to those sickly white skies that you almost forget how night looks.
It can't be.
What's happening?
It's so beautiful.
Sunless sea. The warrior of darkness has come.
Is that what I think it is?
The night sky. As it should be.
Who are you people? You killed a warden, then bathed in its ether as if it were a spring shower, and now the sky? The legends are true. My lord?
How many years have I waited for this moment? For the one possessed of her blessing. For you. You have vanquished the Lightwarden of Lakeland, and for the first time in a century, darkness has returned to the mantle of night. Without the ever-present light to sustain them, the Sin Eaters will have no choice but to retreat. Yet our victory is far from complete. Though darkness has fallen here, the other wardens yet bask beneath burning skies, feasting upon what little life remains. Even should it cost me all I have, I would see each and every one of them slain, that this world might be spared from oblivion. Not only for the first, but for the source as well. Save one, and we save the other. But, be that as it may, I concede it was wrong of me to summon you to this fight against your will. I swear, on my life, I will one day atone for that deed. But for the present, I beg you, stay and see this fight to its conclusion. Cast down the Wardens and restore darkness to the first.
I will become the warrior you need. It sounds like a glorious adventure. It seems I have no choice but to fight. This feels more right for our dutiful little guy. I will become the warrior you need.
On behalf of the First, I offer you my deepest thanks.
I understand there is much at stake here, XIV, but why do you risk yourself so readily? It must have been a dangerous drain on your ether to summon even one person across the rift.
I do it for my people, of course. To give the Crystarium the tomorrow it deserves.
That is true now, yes, but the city had yet to be built when you first called forth the Crystal Tower. I'm simply curious to know what prompted you to commit yourself so completely to this particular course.
There are things which we can ill afford to lose. And I sensed from the first that I had a part to play in preserving them. Forgive me. I fear the events of the day may have taken their toll. Despite appearances, I am an old man. One burdened with many difficult memories, some too painful to recall.
Well then, I'm sorry for pressing you. It's a family failing, I'm afraid.
One which has served us well more often than not. Needless to say, we will continue to fight at your side until the last Sin Eater is defeated.
Come then, my warriors of darkness. Let us gather the surviving villagers and make our way back to the Crystarium.
I've never felt so good about seeing night sky while recording. Fare thee well, permanent, decent lighting. Oh well. It's a little cloudy out tonight, but still, nice and dark out. Without that constant glare, Lakeland seems an entirely different place. It's over, yes? I might need a moment. It's as if the sky itself had disappeared into the heavens. If I didn't have wounded to tend to, I'd never stop staring. I do like that you have enough time to kind of get used to the just light bleached everything for a while. And then as soon as it's gone, it's suddenly a very shocking, like, whoa, wow, it does actually look quite different and nice out here. How quickly you've justified my faith in you. So many lives saved, and the sky itself heralds your success. A single victory in a larger struggle, perhaps, but a momentous one, nonetheless. Well, thank you. We should probably go ahead and call it. I want to keep going, but we should call it. Anyway, I will see you all tomorrow for some more Final Fantasy XIV story mode. Take care until then, everyone. Goodbye.